On the left hand side down here is what's known as Florence Nightingale Hospital, community hospital, and it used to be, and it's further down there, but it used to be a maternity hospital. That's for banquets. That's nice, isn't it? Them little two turret things over there. Pretty, isn't it? I wonder if that was part of the old hospital as well. There used to be a maternity hospital here. Another nice building. Look at that, it says Queen's Chambers. Queen's Chambers, it says there. More nice buildings. There it says Shimyard House. Can't even see what it says. But look, it says there Nightingale Nursing Home again. So this is all part of Florence Nightingale. And then we've got here a little bit of a building that's left. Just to situate yourselves. Which again says the Nightingale Home. So I wonder, so it says there Nightingale Nursing Home. So I wonder if back in the day these units here were linked to the units across there. Hospital. Nice little church as well. We're coming nearer now to the big shopping centre. We're going to go round it. Not going to go through it. There's another example. Oh, it says it's a restaurant now. Pepper Pot Restaurant. Oh, it's nice in there, isn't it? But again, I reckon that's part of the old hospital. What's left of it. And there we go, with a statue of Florence Nightingale. Right there. I'm going to get my wife to zoom in on that statue. Some nice houses there. I think they're called almshouses back in the day.
Oh my God, what eyes.
Yeah, I know, I've got it as well. It's to do with pollen. Blossoms coming off the trees landing in our eyes. So yeah, there's the big shopping centre, but we're going to go around it and then I'm going to meet you back on the other side. I'll show you where in a minute. So yeah, they do look like quite old houses in there. See this building on the left, I'd be interested to know what that was. So what I do now is I tend to write things underneath afterwards, but it is a big building. It's got some kind of animal right on top of it, maybe an eagle. There is a bird there, that's for sure. It's up there a lot. Without doubt that would have been an old cinema. I just know by the shape of it. I don't think it's a cinema now. I think it's now World Kitchen, like a buffet place. So yeah, we'll find out what cinema it was. Very, very windy. Very windy. Very windy. We're getting closer and closer to the city centre. That building there looks quite old. The Neptune, they're all old buildings around here. Even the Salvation Army one is quite old up there. But yeah, we're going to head up further down into the centre. There's a ram outside Derbion. Yeah, we just noticed on the top of that Turkish restaurant. Looks like flames maybe at the top. That would be my guess, flames. Some nice old buildings anyway. So let's carry on walking down. There's some old Tudor style buildings as well. And on this side. In fact, we're going to go to a street soon where the old Bell Hotel was. Often people don't look up when they're walking around. But that is some fine architecture, look at that. Police patrolling the streets, that's how it should be. But yeah, there's a lot of mixture of architecture here, new and old. But it is pretty. Some of it is really nice and unique. Even that is a little bit different. Here we have one of the churches of Derby. There's quite a few of them. St. Peter's in the City. I reckon it won't be open, but it is nice. Nice architecture. And if you swing round up there onto the right hand side, you've got another beautiful building just there. Look at that. Right up there it says Thurman and Malin. I'll have to look into that. Can you see there? Nice. That building's quite big, isn't it? Thurman and Malin, yeah. More beautiful buildings. If you look on the windows of these ones, they've got like an emblem on the corner. This is St. James's Street. Then we've got this one over here. So yeah, here was the corn market. It's an old building there, but that is an old building, as you can see as well. Lots of old buildings everywhere. Nice mural there outside Tiger Bar. Look at that. Wow. Nice building. Look at the architecture on that. The sun's come out, and here we have the Guild Hall. Beautiful building, isn't it? Really is. It says Market Hall entrance. So where are we going now? Well, we're going to go up one of the oldest streets of Derby, okay? Where there's a beautiful Tudor building, and it's actually called the Bell Hotel. Look at that as well behind me. Another fine building. But yeah, we're going to go and find where the Bell Hotel is, have a coffee in there, because it's a really old building. So we're going to try and find that. Here we have one of these things again, these old post box. I believe that's an old post box. Not too sure what they're doing over there, but they're doing something new. Kids are having fun, bless them. Nothing wrong with that. What does this say here? The Great Wall. That looks like an old building there. Then it's the new one right next to it. Something about a lieutenant here. A privet here. As you know, Derby has a lot of arty things, artifacts. And here we go with an example of an artifact, or something artish. And you can actually barcode each one of these guys, or figures on here. They're quite peculiar, aren't they? Let's have a closer look at these things. Very peculiar. So yeah, you can barcode them and find out what each one of them were, or who they were. Which is quite interesting. I'm going to do that in a second so I can find out. So my wife has just seen this here. So this is what this will be to do with. Speaker's Corner. There's people who have spoke here in the past, I assume. Just spotted a fine building down there, look at that. Some really pretty buildings here in Derby, you know, really are. So I've just spotted the cathedral up there, which we are going to go in a minute. But before we go to the cathedral, we are going to go up Sadler Gate. There's the cathedral on the right hand side. And Sadler Gate is one of the oldest streets in Derby. And down here there's the old Bell Hotel. There it is, the old Bell Hotel. We're going to go there and have a coffee because it's a really nice interior, really old building. There's a lot of old buildings scattered around here in Derby. Very beautiful actually. You just got to look up and you see some amazing stuff. Look at that, there we have it. Reminds me a little bit of some buildings around Chester. GR, it says up there.
No.
And here is the hotel entrance, which is also a cafe. We're going to go and have a coffee in here. I think it's worth it. What does that do there? What's that? Oh, we've got some like grapes on there, if you can see that. But yeah, what a fine building this one is. And it's quite big as well. It goes all the way down there. It's a big building. Spreads all the way down. There's also a vape shop there. So this is the Bell Hotel. Like I said, the Tudor bar. Look at that, nice little place. Really old. The Tudor bar. Go and have a look. After you, babe. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Lovely. Wow. Really nice. Same. A latte, please. So yeah, very, very old part here. Very old bar, still in Tudor style. I don't know where the plaque is, but these are the toilets here. So this is 18th century, I believe. 16th.
17th century.
17th, right, there we go, we're changing with the dates.
Yes.
I said 18th.
It's built in 1650.
Jorrocks. There's some fine windows here. There's the grapes again on top of there. Jorrocks. Interesting name that is. And then we've got some history down here. Say that again. This building was once a what?
Coaching inn.
Yeah. Just
Now
like
it
that.
has the George.
Just like that room, isn't it? Where we were at the Tudor thing.
Yeah.
Tudor. At the Bell Hotel.
So
Was that a stables room where we were? In the Tudor hall, isn't it? At Tudor room. In 1745 it became the headquarters of the Duke of Devonshire, where he raised the Derbyshire Blues
to combat the invading Highland army of Prince Charles Edward Stuart. It was to this in that the van of the Prince's army arrived on the 4th of December 1745 to demand
billets.
For 9,000 troops.
What's billets? So yeah, lots of interesting buildings. We've just been there at the Bell Hotel. In fact, oh look at that, that's nice, isn't it? Look at that, Laura Croft says there. But yeah, we wanted to say a thanks to Ollie, who works at the Bell, the old Bell Hotel. He was really friendly. So Ollie, if you're watching, thank you, sir. Really appreciate talking to you, because you calmed me down as well. I was getting anxious in there when I was not knowing where I was supposed to be filming or not, so thank you. Here we have Joseph Wright. Was he a painter? Joseph Wright. No, he wasn't then. Because there is... Oh, actually, yeah, he has got something to do with... Yeah, I'm right. He is something to do with painting. Old classical painting. got his inspiration from the Dutch masters. I thought so. I did think it was something to do with art. Joseph Wright, one of many artists in the area. Here's another one of these. Liam Sharp. There's a few of them dotted about. There's a cathedral, which we're going to go in now. Here's another one. What does that one say? Steve Bloomer. Steve Bloomer. So yeah, there's quite a few of them there. So we're going to go inside the cathedral, and then we're going to head off to the museum, which is the Museum of Silk in an old mill. Just noticed something here. It says Iron Gate, and it says up there, what we're looking at here, it says something up there. John Whitehurst, FRS. Like a plaque there. A few of them dotted around Derby, I've noticed. So there we have the cathedral. Another old Tudor building right there. Looks a little bit like the Flying Horse in Nottingham. If you know Nottingham, you'll know. Yeah. Oh, that's a bear, that one. Yeah, it is a bear, isn't it? Wow. And that one is a lion. There's more around the other side, I've just noticed. I don't know what animals they are though. There's quite a few different ones, look. Right at the top. We'll go a bit higher there. There's another one. And there's one a little bit further down. So they've all got it at the end, at the top of a building again. Then you've got all this kind of decoration around the side of the building. It's quite interesting. And even on the arches you've got these, it's like, they look like half a plate scenario, if that makes sense. So yeah, very unique architecture, like decorating around the stones. St. Mary's Chambers over there. Quite a lot of beautiful houses.